Hi and welcome back to the channel. If you've been around for a while, you know that I'm not only about horses, although I wish I could be 24/7. I also have a garden that I decided I'm going to start cleaning off today and see how much I can get planted. It might take me a couple of days to finish, but I thought I would just enjoy the sun for a second and start the video out on my front porch. I feel like every day that goes by, I'm getting more and more behind with my work. My brother and my dad were here the other day because we finally got the tractor out of the fence line, I guess you would say, and it is parked by the garage and it is being taken apart and it's on its way to being fixed. I have all this wood split up by them. They have the chainsaw. I am going to be taking this to my son soon. He was paying about $10–11 for a small bundle of wood in the city, and I said, let me bring you some, it's free. So that's what all this wood is for. It's gonna take a while. Now I see the dogs are investigating the little hill here because it must be full of little rodents. But I need that tractor working. I need to get this bale out of here, bust it apart and spread out. Use it as ground cover so that I can prevent all the weeds growing up. And this is the path to my garden. And you're gonna see all the work that I bought for myself yesterday. There it is. I bought $100 worth of shavings, pine shavings that people put in their horse stalls, except I put it in between the rows. And I gotta get all of this cleaned up. Any green you see is a weed that came back. So all of this needs to be tidied up before I can start planting. And these have to be taken down, last year's sunflowers. So it's time to get to work. So I'm taking one of my many breaks. It seems like I weed a row and then I sit down for 15 minutes. Bo's hanging out with me. There's a plastic bag I just emptied there. So I've got 4 rows here weeded, and I got the shavings down. I notice I missed the odd grass blade, but this garden will continue to be weeded throughout the season. I have started on the far end where the weeds are the worst, but it almost gets discouraging, so I moved over to this area, which was a little bit easier to do. But a little bit at a time. I don't think I'm gonna get finished tonight, but at least I made some progress. I will be getting their seeds all ready tonight, and definitely plant something tomorrow, but it looks like this is going to be a week-long journey. I did find a lot of roots underground that would go across 2 or 3 rows, and I'm hoping that this is going to be one of the last years that I see poison ivy on my garden. And for those of you who might be new here, this is the 3rd year of this garden in this area. I still haven't put the top rails all the way around on the fence, and the fence is here to keep the deer out, to keep the dogs out. I do have moles or voles or groundhogs, whatever they are. They do dig tunnels underneath. I don't lose too many vegetables to them, so it's just an ongoing battle, and I do set a trap out for them if it does get so bad. Last year I had the trap here, but I never set it and it wasn't so bad. Maybe the dogs were taking care of them and I didn't know. But before that, 3 years ago, if you can follow the path of pine that's right in front of me, right at the end of it there's still a tree stump. This area used to be all trees, and I got my father to cut them down, and I brought in the tractor, and I dumped a whole bunch of horse manure here and I worked it. That would have been 3 years ago. And I started making this. This is my no-till garden. So I don't do anything but add horse manure. I don't think I'm going to this year. I'm going to leave it. As much as you see right now is what I'm doing before I plant. And still battling from moving the manure here. I have a lot of stinging nettles. They were not growing here before. I brought that in with the horse manure. But over time, it'll be less and less. And I really like this idea of a garden over having to till the area. And then once you've tilled it, the whole area becomes weeds. So at least I only have weeds kind of growing sometimes in between the vegetables, but mainly along the row between the shavings and the dirt, which is way better than it used to be. Here the horses are coming along to investigate, or maybe they're going to get water. It is a nice hot day today. So if I do any more tonight, I'll bring you back later. I'm back. So the sun is disappearing in the sky. And I'd still like to do my chores while it's daylight. So that is it for the garden tonight. For the way I have it done, it's kind of awkward, but I do have half of the garden done. So I've got all 5 rows cleared here. I do not have the edge cleared, which is the pathway. And the reason it does grow grass so bad is that I've never put pine shavings there. I put a hay bale because last year I guess I was trying to save some money, or I didn't have money, I'm not sure. But where the rows had pine shavings, all I did was have to add some more on top. And last year, each row took 1 bag. This year, I could get 1 bag down 2 rows. So I don't think I'm gonna be using as much for the center of the garden. And most of all those bags, which I have 16 left, are gonna go to the edging. So it's gonna work out good. Hopefully keep all this grass out because it has come in along. I have a 4-foot border around this whole garden and it's quickly filled up with grass, stinging nettles, and I have clover growing over by the trees there. So I did clear all 5 rows on this side of the garden. So I have 10 on this side of the arch, which I have in the middle. That are cleared, and I also have 2 rows on the other side cleared, and I put down a row of shavings. I did not clean the center of this arch, so there's a couple weeds in there, and then I have to lay down some shavings. And I think the hardest part of the garden is what I left for last. I know I had gotten to the lettuce row, which is way at the back there, and I did a couple feet of it and I gave up and came to the easy part of the garden. But at least when I come back tomorrow, I can plant half of the garden and start tackling those weeds over there. So tomorrow I will continue. I will start planting. Look out for part 2 of my garden. See you next time.